Hello, family. Hello, YouTube. Hello, friends. You're my family. You're my YouTube family. It's another day. Thank you for stopping by. If you're a new visitor to this channel, please subscribe, like, comment, help me out. I really want to apologize. It's been a while. I have a couple of videos I have not edited. A lot has been going on, especially last week. Last week has been the worst week ever since this year. My family is grieving, and I'm really dealing with it. But sometimes I'm not coping. I've been a little bit confused, struggling. Hey, sorry, I forgot to introduce him. This is my 1-year-old, my 1-year-old boy, the baby of my house right now. Hey, I'm fighting with this camera. He wants this camera by all means. Please, do not touch it. Mommy is recording and it's very important. Okay? Right. I've been struggling like real. If you have never lost someone that is so close, so dear to you, you may not know how it feels. It's been terrible. It's been terrible since last week Wednesday. My whole family, home and abroad, they've been thrown into wailing and mourning and heartbreak. Is terrible. Last week Wednesday, I have a page in Facebook, so I finished doing a live chat in Facebook. So I logged off. That was about 7:30. I was getting my children ready for bed, showered them. I was actually giving them a shower one after the other when my auntie was bringing me from Abuja. Then I was like, there was a couple of missed calls, so I tried to call her back, but she was not picking. So a couple of times we missed ourselves. Then I carried on doing what I'm doing. Obviously, I was getting my kids ready for bed, so I was giving them night wash and all that. So when I finished, I fed them and I chucked them in bed, storybook, prayers and everything. Then after that, I quickly ran back. I wanted to call my auntie again. Then I saw that my little sister in another town, she's in Nigeria. She lives in the eastern part of Nigeria, but not necessarily in my hometown. So she has called me. Then I was thinking, oh, my auntie has called severally. We keep missing each other. Now my sister has called. At this point, my mind told me there was a big problem. So I quickly, obviously I tried my auntie. I didn't get her. So I called my sister back. I called her. At first, she didn't speak. She picked up the phone, but she did not speak. Then I was like, hello, are you there? How are you? Then she was like, then she started wailing. She was like, oh, everything is not okay. Then I was like, what is it? Then she was like, oh, I am in the mortuary. I said, what are you doing in the mortuary? She was like, oh, Chocho is dead. I was like, no. I said, this is not April Fool. This is not 1st of April. You cannot be making silly jokes. She was like, this is not a joke. Chocho is dead. That she's in the mortuary. She's there with her body. I was like, what happened? How come? When? If you have someone that is sick, maybe terminally ill or just mere sickness, obviously, we don't pray for death and all that. When people die, they don't come back out. They're dead and gone forever. You miss them. What you're left with is just memories. So I was like, come on. Can you stop crying? And the way she was crying, told me it was not a joke. And my sister don't make silly jokes. So I was like, the thing I had in my hand just fell out. Then I was like, my God, what happened? Then she was like, accident. I was like, accident? How can that accident happen and not even give her a fighting chance? She died at the spot. Oh, Chocho is my little cousin. She was just 21 years old, a final year student of Evangel Academy in Akeza, Ebonyi State. You know, it was... Come on, don't turn it off. Mommy is recording. It was, I don't know, I just collapsed. I just let out this big shout and I fell. I got up. It was, I don't know how to really quantify the pain I felt. I mean, I felt that my heart had been pierced. My heart was smashed in two. I wept. My little boy ran out from, he was sleeping. He woke up and ran out. He was like, mommy. I was like, oh, my cousin, my little cousin, and all that. You know, it was, I don't know, if I'm feeling like that, imagine what my uncle is feeling. Imagine what the wife and the sibling of this little girl, what they're feeling. I really don't know how people deal with their grief. Obviously, I have tried to be strong for everybody. Come on, guys, it's gonna be okay. Let's not cry too much and all that. But deep down, I am not okay. I mean, I tell everybody it's gonna be okay and all that. Then secretly, when I'm left all by myself, I am crying. It's been one of the most difficult weeks I have dealt with. Come on, son, sit down. I was forgetting myself. I am still forgetting myself in the middle of anything I'm doing. I'm like, I'm lost. I don't know. It takes me a few seconds, you know, to regain myself. I am lost. I find myself confused. Sometimes I leave the bedroom, I'm going to the kitchen to get something, and I found myself standing in the middle of the kitchen and not remembering what I've come to get. I am normally a strong person, a very strong person, and I don't cry easily. But you know, sometimes the strongest people are also the weakest people. I found myself, I lay down in my bed at night and I just cry myself to sleep. Please, I really need your advice, how you dealt with grief. You've been grieved before, how did you deal with it? I mean, I know there's no holy grail. There is no one way to deal with grief. Everybody is different and we deal with issue differently. Just support me in a way you can. I don't know, the most painful aspect of this death is that, I mean, if she was sick or something, I mean, people die in one piece, but this accident, it's not that she was traveling and she got, you know, a car collided or whatever, nothing like that. This girl was just crossing the road. She was just crossing the road and this speedy car came and just flipped her up. And this car, the most painful part is that this car killed my cousin by the roadside. This car did not stop. I mean, the car could have stopped and made an effort to at least get her to the hospital. I mean, nothing. So as I'm talking to you now, the killer of my cousin is free and roaming the streets. My heart is shattered. My heart is broken. My family have suffered so much within this period. She's just 21 years old. She had her life in front of her. She was a final year student. She was supposed to graduate October. She was actually preparing for her final exam. And you know, when you have someone in private university, it's a lot of money. 400 and something thousand naira. This is what is being paid as tuition. This is not inclusive of upkeep, accommodation, and other things. So my uncle have trained this girl for 4 good years, paid all that money. And just like that, when it's time for the family to enjoy the fruit of their labor, someone just came from nowhere and just took her life away. No sorry. My heart is broken. My heart is bleeding. No sorry, no whatsoever. So this person is moving about freely. Nobody to question them. But I know God will vindicate my family. God will fight for us. I don't know. This is so painful. This is so painful that your loved one would die alone by the roadside. Her body was all dismembered. So this car damaged her so badly. Broken skull, broken bones, hands, leg. Even her waist was shifted. Her waist was... I'm really sorry, I'm crying, but I mean, this has been my way of life since last week. I cry at any slightest provocation, even without any provocation. I just start crying. Even when I'm not crying, the tears just start running down. I'm trying to stomach this, but it's just too much for me. I mean, I am so broken in me. Then I don't know how my uncle feels. I mean, this is crazy, guys. This is crazy, but my heart is broken. I mean, if someone is sick or just slept and didn't wake up, it's different. But this one, somebody is responsible for her death. The person has not even handed himself or herself over to the police. No contact, nothing. This person knocked this girl out and left her to die by the roadside. I mean, you know, when people are dying and they know they are dying, I mean, their loved ones are surrounding them and, you know, build some memories. But my cousin died alone, all alone, by the roadside. I mean, it's too much. It's just too much. This person has brought this grief upon my family. I don't know. She was supposed to write her final exam. She was supposed to graduate. This is September. She was supposed to graduate by October. But just like that, I mean, I still think this is a nightmare that I need to wake up from. I don't know how you guys, if you have dealt with grief, please support me. How did you manage? Because I'm trying so much. I mean, my family don't know I cry, that I'm crying. But I found myself breaking down, especially when there's no one. I mean, I appear strong for everybody. I try to support them. I mean, you know, console them. But deep down, I'm crying. I struggle so much. I mean, this is so, my heart is so pained. What a terrible way to die. What a terrible, for a 21-year-old innocent girl. And I don't know which one is painful. There's so much pain surrounded with this death. Do you know the day she died, she wanted to take out some money from her account, obviously student money for upkeeps and feeding and all that stuff. So within the school premises, was it the internet that was down, or the banking or ATM? I don't know. Something was not working. So these services were not forthcoming, and there was so much queue, and you're not even sure if you're gonna get anything. So there was so much queue, and the service was like, people that are in front of the queue, they are not even being attended to or something. So my cousin decided to go to Abakaliki. Her school is in Akese. So she decided to get a taxi to Abakaliki. So she went to Abakaliki. She went and did her transaction and took some money out from the ATM. And she was going back. And the bank where she went to take out this money, where she did this transaction, my younger sister worked there. So my younger sister was coming back. She and her colleagues, they were coming back from some marketing, whatever they went to do. So they needed to give handover. So there were like a couple of them. So some guy said to my sister, "Is that not your cousin?" So obviously she was still a bit far. My sister looked and said, "Yeah, that's my cousin. Oh, she's coming to the bank." She was still coming then. So my sister, obviously, she went up with her colleagues. They needed to give handover to their bosses or something. So normally, when Chocho comes to do any transaction, she will, after her transaction or even before, she will come and look for my sister, who is her cousin. So she will come and look for her. People know her there because of my sister work there. So for some reason that day, she didn't come into the bank. She used the ATM outside the bank. So my sister, in the middle of the handover, she was like, how come my cousin hasn't come up to look for me? So my sister quickly, rounded up her handover, handed over to her colleagues so they can carry on. So she come and look for her. The minute she stepped out, she went to her bag to call her, to find out if she was still around or she was gone. Then her phone was ringing. So when she picked her phone, it was my cousin, my other cousin. It was Chocho's elder sister who was doing service in some other states. So she was calling my sister. When my sister picked the phone, she was like, "Oh, Faith, what's going on?" Faith said, "Oh, Chisom has had an accident." My sister said, "It's a lie. I just saw Chisom like 10 minutes ago. She should be within the bank premises." So Faith said, "No." My sister said, "No, it can't be." So she ran out. Chocho was not there. So she was like, "Okay, how did you know? You're far away near Lagos State. How did you know? I mean, I'm here, I'm nearer to Chocho here. How did you know this?" Then she was like, "Oh, because Faith graduated from the same school where Chocho attends. So most of the students there knows Faith and they also know Chocho. So they know that they are sisters. So somebody saw Chocho laying lifeless by the roadside with her body dismembered, damaged by this accident. And she saw her and she recognized her and she didn't know what to do because, Nigerians, what is going on? Have you people lost your senses? Chocho had an accident. In the point of death, people stole her phone, people stole her money. There was no way anybody could have traced her if that girl did not see her. So this fellow student saw her and decided to call Faith because she has Faith's number. She called Faith and said, "Oh, your sister has had an accident. She's unconscious. She's in a terrible state." Then Faith had to call my sister because my sister was in the same state with Chocho. So my sister was the nearest family member to this girl. My sister was like, "Okay, I don't believe this because I saw her just 10 minutes ago. Maybe she's still within us, But Faith was crying. So my sister decided to get the number of the girl that called Faith. So she got the number. She was calling this girl. This girl was like directing her where they are. They were, this girl called the school ambulance to transfer Chocho from the accident scene to the hospital. And guess what? The doctors, they were on strike. So it was just a double trouble for us. So when they took her to the hospital, she was in ambulance. The school ambulance took her to the hospital with the girl sitting on the phone and communicating with my sister. My sister got there. She found the doctors, a couple of them standing outside talking to themselves. My sister got there. When she alighted from the car, she was like, "Where is Chocho? Why is the doctor standing? Why are you people all here? You're supposed to be in A&E doing something." They told her to calm down. She was like, "How can she calm? How can she be calm?" So she said, "Where is my cousin?" They said, "Oh, she's inside the ambulance." My sister was wailing, and when she jumped into the ambulance, she said the minute she jumped in, she jumped out because the sight she saw was so scary that this girl's body was all disconnected. And, she jumped out, she was screaming. So they told her to calm down, that she was dead. She said, "No, she can't be dead." But she was dead. She probably died in the roadside because Nigerians were gathering. You know the way they are. They have mobile phones. They have facilities, but they don't know how to use it. Everybody has turned to journalists. If something happened, everybody is videoing. Even the people that don't have camera in their phone, they try to video. So they were videoing, "Oh, hey, yeah. Nobody made any effort. So this girl probably died at the spot. They stole her money. They stole her phone. So this is what happened to people who die and nobody can trace them, accident victims, because people have stolen their phone. Nobody to contact them. You can't even get next of kin. I mean, through people's phone, you look at the contact and call people that know them. Nothing. They've stolen everything. So if it was not for this student that came out and saw her and recognized her, probably by now we will still be looking for my cousin. We will still be looking for her, not know her whereabouts. But it was someone that recognized her and contacted us. If not, this girl probably will be in the mortuary with nobody. Then that is what happened when people die and their family members are looking for them and all that. They're going from one mortuary to another because people have stolen their phone. I mean, stop stealing from dead people. Stop stealing from vulnerable people. Stop stealing from accident victims. Don't you have conscience in your mind? What kind of poverty that will make you to commit this kind of crime? You stealing from a dead person, from a vulnerable person. You stealing from them. This is so heart-wrenching. So that was how my little cousin died. 21 years old. My cousin, she's a biochemistry student, and she wanted to go back to uni immediately after her graduation because she wanted to become a medical doctor. We call her Dr. Chocho. She wanted to become a medical doctor. But this dream was not actualized. This hit and run driver has knocked out all her dream, has destroyed her, shattered her, and took her life. Just in her prime, 21 years old, who is supposed to graduate next month, October 2021. Chocho was supposed to be a graduate, her first degree. She was going back for second degree. So please, I don't know. I am really trying. I mean, I'm not the person that cry easily, but I have been overwhelmed. I mean, I cry at every slightest, I wouldn't even say provocation. Nobody is provoking me. But any small thing, you can tell me good morning, I'll just remember and I'll start crying. Sometimes I'm not even crying, but my eye is always watering. Tears is rolling down. This is not, I now understand. I now understand when people say, oh, they cried a bucket of tears. I'm thinking, where is the tears coming from, guys? I have wept. My tears, it can't stop. It stops, it comes, it stops, it comes. So please, if you have dealt with such grief, please comment, help me out. I'm trying, but it's a process. But my heart is so heavy. I mean, especially when I remember the cause of this girl's death. When I remember that the person responsible for this untimely death is going about freely. No remorse, not being held accountable, not even a sorry to the family. This is wickedness of the highest order. Guys, please. My family have really grieved a lot. I mean, you know, since I was born, nobody has ever died in my mother's side, my maternal home. These people are the love of our life. My maternal home, they are responsible for wherever I am today. For wherever I am today. There's no how I would say the history of my life without mentioning them. I don't even have a history if I don't mention. They are my in and out. They are my all and all after God. So growing up there, nobody, the last person that died there was my mom's dad. My mom's dad. He was the last person that died in that family. And when he died, we were not born yet. My mom and the siblings, they were still kids. So what I'm telling you, this is donkey decades ago. So all of a sudden, and this thing just happened, boom. I'm thinking, what kind of, I don't know. My mind is all messed up. My heart is bleeding. My heart aches. My heart aches. My family was thrown into tears, into mourning, into wailing. I'm just praying for God to bring healing. Please, if you have an advice for me, please don't feel shy to comment. Help me out. I've been grieved before. Yes, I have been, but this one, I feel like I'm really struggling to cope, to come to terms with this. Yes, I have come to terms, but it has not really sunk in. And when I remember the circumstances surrounding her death, her untimely death, this terrible death, oh God, I don't know how people sleep when you know you have committed a crime like this, when you have killed somebody. How do you sleep? When you're responsible for someone's death, how do you feel? You don't create any life. Why do you take life? Right, this one can be said is accident or something, but how can you not? Hello son, don't do that. How can you not even say sorry to the family you have killed their child? How do you carry on with your daily business and endeavor, knowing that you have killed somebody, knowing that you're running away? No sorry, no whatsoever, nobody. I mean, I don't even know if we will ever find this person. My family, they are nice people. They will not do this guy anything, or woman, whoever. It's just to say sorry. You have left this deep hole in our hearts. I mean, nobody's going to kill you. We are not violent people. We are nice and kind. I mean, we don't hurt people. We will go out of our ways to help somebody. So why has this person done this to us? Please just bear with me. I have videos that I need to edit and all that, but my mind is so scattered. I mean, I find my mind here and there wandering and all that. I am really not in the right frame of mind, but gradually I know healing will come. So please bear with me. I have even, there's a couple of videos I needed to work on and all that before this news came, and I just found myself all chattered. Please bear with me. I will work on them, and especially someone has asked me to do Harvard referencing. Please bear with me. I promise I will upload that soon. Just pray for me, support me, encourage me. My family, it's so sad. My grandmother is old. As in, if she was the one that died, I mean, I will not be crying. I will not cry, because she has seen better days. She's up to 100, if not nearly above 100. We can't even tell her that her granddaughter died. We can't even tell her. We don't know what the outcome will be, so we didn't tell her. Due to the circumstances surrounding Chisom's death, Chisom was buried just like 3-4 days after her death. Please pray for my family. And thank you for your support. Thank you for your understanding. If you have been heartbroken like this, please, what was your experience? How did you cope? How did you survive? Please tell me. Comment. I really appreciate and I look forward to receiving this help. That's why I made this video. You people are my family as well. Please support me. Pray for us. Tell me if you know how you coped. Help me. Help me, because I mean, I can't keep living every day like that. I mean, I cry in the middle. I mean, this morning I was coming back from school runs. And I was in the bus. People were looking. You know this Europe now, but nobody, if you like, cry blood, nobody asks you anything. They all mind their business. I mean, I was coming back from school run this morning. I was just crying. I wasn't crying, but tears were just falling down. I mean, I was cleaning, then I got fed up of cleaning. I just let it. People see you, they don't say nothing. Hey, baby, what are you doing? People don't say nothing to you. You know, I don't know. It's the culture here or something. They feel like they are intruding or something. But sometimes just me talking about it helps. I wish people will support people more. A couple of years ago, 2019, when I was crying again on the train, when I lost my mama-in-law, I got to work that morning. Then the phone call came. Oh, I just signed in. There was no manager, so I was the second person. I was an assistant manager. So I haven't even dropped my bag. I just signed in at the door. I was going into my office. Then this phone call came. Although my mother-in-law then was sick. She was sick. She was badly. She was actually on oxygen. She finished the oxygen and they you know, my sister-in-laws, they thought, oh, she wasn't doing well. Oh, maybe we should know. She's had like 2 tanks of oxygen. Maybe we should just she's gone. I mean, her pulse was all disappearing. Then I was like, what? Put her back on oxygen. Put another tank. You know. So obviously they were right. But me, I'm determined to fight to the last minute. I said, no, put her back. Put her back and get another oxygen tank. Give her time to fight. I didn't know that Mama has given up fighting already. That time it was death that came. So she was actually going. My sister-in-laws, they were there, but I wasn't there. I was here, but I was here fighting. I said, no, put her back on oxygen. Get another oxygen tank. So she was on the 3rd oxygen tank. Then I got to work that morning. The phone call came. They said, Mama, mother-in-law is gone. I just screamed. Dropped my bag, fell out from my hand. Even the phone I was answering fell off from my hand. That was the last time I felt this kind of pain. But the consolation I had was Mama was 73 years old. Even at that, I was not ready to give up. I wasn't ready to say goodbye. That was when I had terrible. So I had to leave work again. Then get on the train to go back home. I was sat on the train and I wasn't crying. I was crying, but I wasn't obviously, I was not screaming and all that, but I was just sobbing. Tears and all that. Do you know that my journey is about 50 minutes, 50 minutes or 60 minutes there, about 1 hour, 105. Do you know that all through my journey, nobody asked me, oh, what's going on, oh, whatever. Nobody, I'm telling you guys. It's so freaking bad here. In this Europe, nobody asks you anything. If you're dying, you're on your own. If you're crying out your eyes, you're on your own. So I journeyed for 1 hour on the train. I sat there just sobbing and tears and, you know, nobody said hello, hi, what is going on? Nothing. So this is bad, I'm telling you guys. Nobody. They just mind their business and go wherever they're going. It's so bad. People need to support each other despite the location and the whatever culture, whatever. I mean, that is so bad. You know, I have seen somebody crying on the train. I was pregnant then. I saw this lady. She's like Asian lady. It's like a young girl, maybe in her early 20s. She was just sat on the train opposite me, and it was a rush hour. I was coming back from work. She was just crying. She wasn't welling out, but she was just sobbing, you know, softly. So I noticed that, and the train was so full, so I couldn't reach her because obviously rush, if you live in London, I mean, you know, rush hour in the morning and rush hour from 4 o'clock, you know, it's crazy. People squash you. I was pregnant and I was terrified for my own life. I mean, I used to get scared that people are gonna squash me. So I couldn't reach this girl, so I waited, and thank goodness I was getting off this stop I was getting off, that was where she was getting off as well. So I got off and I noticed she was also making her way to go. So I waited out for her. When she came down, I tapped her shoulder. She was surprised. I was like, what's going on? Are you okay? She said, yes. I said, what happened? You know, it's not the end of the world. We all go through moments like that. But I just couldn't go. I needed to speak to you. So 1 or 2 words of comfort. I mean, at the end of the day, she wiped her tears away and she told me, thank you. She was like, you know, she's been crying for a while on this. I don't know where she got on the train, but I got on maybe halfway. I don't know where she was coming from. She was like, she's been there, you know, sobbing. Nobody has said anything to her. But I was like, man, I just could not. My heart was heavy. What will make somebody to be shedding tears publicly in transport? I have been there before. So that I went to her. I held her hand and said, listen, it's going to be okay. What is the problem? Is there anything I can help with? I mean, mere speaking to somebody makes a lot of difference. So please, if you run into somebody who is shedding tears and crying, just speak to them. One word of encouragement you don't know the impact that will make. So what made me bring you about this thing is that this morning I was shedding tears on the bus. Nobody said hello, hi. Or for the one saying Bible, nothing. Please, people, we need to be more aware of our environment. We need to support each other. People are suffering. Maybe it's not bereavement, it's something else. Something that is making somebody to cry. It's something serious. I will take that serious. So please, guys, I need all the support I can get at this point. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. Please subscribe, comment, help me out. Give me suggestions on how to cope. But I know God will bring healing. Gradually, our broken hearts will be mended. Thank you so much. My name is Miriam. I remain Miriam. And thank you for your wonderful support. And do have a wonderful day. Bye.